Welcome back to part 2 of my office makeover. Today's a big day because we are getting started on building Megadesk. The main goal of this office makeover is to build a desk big enough for me to actually work at, even when the cats are sleeping on it. I removed a few larger pieces of furniture in part 1 that I won't be putting back in this room, so I want to make sure the desk has plenty of storage. That first unit I put in will have a door, and then I'm using 2 sets of IKEA Alex drawers I got off Marketplace for the base, which is why they're 2 different colors. But don't worry, we're gonna fix that. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know I don't like to let IKEA actually look like IKEA, so I built bases out of 2x4s for each side and then covered them in baseboards. And then I used poplar board again to add trim to all the units. I did have to fill in and sand all the nail holes and seams for this trim, and that's about the part of this project that I started regretting it. Okay, so my original plan was to paint this entire desk, but once I started gluing my oak boards together for the top, I realized there was no way I could paint this. And not just because you all would yell at me, even though you would, but because I spent way too much time trying to sand down that top and get it as smooth as possible for me to not at least try to stain it. And I don't care what anybody says, sanding is the absolute worst part of any project. So after like 100 years of sanding, because oh yeah, I had to make 2 of those, I was finally back in the office prepping everything for assembly. Since it's IKEA, I had to really prep everything before I could paint. I always make sure to do my favorite thing, you know, sanding, before I prime to make sure that the paint is really gonna stick. This desktop is pretty deep and I was worried about it starting to sag in the front. So I ordered these brackets for extra support, but they ended up being like way overkill because I accidentally ordered the ones that are supposed to hold up a granite counter. On the plus side, I don't have to worry about how much weight this will hold. So at this point I decided to paint the top. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm basically using a whitewash to get rid of some of the red from this wood and to help the tones of the wood match a little better since I had to use 6 different boards to build this top. Luckily that stuff dries pretty quickly and I was able to start staining. Now, I don't know where the hell my supervisors have been. Honestly, they've probably been sleeping on the job. No. But supervisor number 1 did come out to check on my work at the end of the day, and I never actually did get approval, but that's all for today. So come back for part 3 to see how I finished this desk.